I've been trying to find support for Duchenne siblings and I can't find anything. So I think I need to find someone who understands what it's like to be a sibling of Duchenne. That's who I need to talk to. I need to talk to someone that truly understands it. Everyone in my life, as loving as they are and as brilliant as my friends are, they just don't get it. So I wrote it all down and I sent it to Action Duchenne. And then they very kindly invited me to their international conference, which was 4 years ago, and I attended it, completely terrified. And I met some other siblings, and it was amazing. It was incredible. Because I met someone and I hadn't said 2 words to them, and they immediately got it. They understood everything about me just by walking in the door. And so we did what we do now. We shared our stories, and it was a very wonderful experience. It was a very good experience. We came away with this massive buzz, and it was great. But like anything, you also feel a little bit overwhelmed. So then you kind of had to process that a little bit. And we took some time, all 4 of us took the time to kind of work out what happened and why it went well and why did it work. So from that experience that we felt was really good, we said we need to try and replicate this somehow. Somehow we need to be able to share what we got to experience, because I met people who immediately understood what I'd gone through as a child. And it was like this huge emotional weight that had just gone from my shoulders. I hadn't even realised was there. It just went, and it felt amazing. And that is how the Duchenne Sibling Support Network was formed. And our only aim was to create a Facebook group and then organise a night at the pub and allow people that are siblings to come along, have a drink, have a chat, job done. Unfortunately, we had a wonderful thing called the pandemic, which kind of scuppered all of that. So then we had to rethink what we could do. Because we'd set this Facebook page up, we had like several hundred likes on it. We were like, we've got to do something with it now. We created it. So one night, Peter Duffy, the wonderful Peter Duffy, who some of you might know, and he's very prevalent in the Duchenne community. He's also got a brother with Duchenne. He said to me, why don't me and you have a chat, I'll film it, and then we'll shove it on the Facebook page. I went, yeah, all right, let's do that. What could go wrong with that? Can I just say, he was so angry at me, because I showed up in my pyjamas, wearing my bra with a massive gin in my hand, and he went, we can't film it doing this, and I went, we absolutely can, and we are. Because that gives you an idea of my professionalism and his. So that is how the Sibling Network came to be what it is. We have a private Facebook group which is open to siblings only. So if you're a parent, you have to be a sibling, you have to be over 16 to join that Facebook group. There is a Facebook page anyone can like. And what we started doing is we started to speak to other siblings who were willing to share their stories. And we did what me and Peter did. We had a chat, and then we filmed it, and then we put it on our Facebook page. And it's called Sibling Spotlight. And they're all there. If you want to look back, they're all available. It's all on our Facebook page for you to watch. What you guys won't see is most of the spotlights are about 45 minutes to an hour. Every single spotlight has been about 4 hours long. Because basically we start at 7, me with my cup of tea, with maybe a gin, and we just chat and you chat and you chat and you chat. And it's because you're meeting someone who totally understands your experience, because you don't get to do that very often as a Duchenne sibling, much like I suppose as parents, or if you have Duchenne, you don't always get to meet people who also understand what it's like to be a parent of Duchenne, or to have a child with Duchenne, or to be someone with Duchenne. So that's why there's this immediate connection, I think, when siblings meet up. And it's wonderful and it's brilliant. And you can do a lot with that. You can do an awful lot with that. When we set up the sibling page and the sibling group, we didn't set it up with any sort of agenda. We just knew that by siblings talking to one another, it allowed a positive experience for other siblings. The thing is, there's a reason I'm the only one here. There's a reason you don't have 400 siblings sharing their stories. There's a reason why you won't ever get siblings sharing their stories. And it's because it's very, very hard to talk about. Because I think when all the focus is put on Duchenne, and it's all put on research, and it's put on all the amazing trials and research and information that everyone goes into, I've never heard the word sibling once. I sat in a magnificent thing this morning. It was fantastic. It's a wonderful project that's going to do some great stuff. And it said, Duchenne and families. And I went, what equates families? What is families? It's not families. It's people with Duchenne. It's parents and it's siblings. They are 3 different experiences. And if you truly want to provide real support, like mental health support, you have to start understanding that they're not the same experience. A person with Duchenne, so you have 3 experiences. You have a person living with the condition. You have people, I suppose, much like yourselves, who are bringing someone up with that condition, so living alongside the condition. And then you've got the sibling, who more often than not is growing up with the condition. And it's not the same thing, it's an entirely different thing. So what I'd like you to do is think of, when you're as a parent, think about all the emotional weight you sometimes feel handling Duchenne. And then I want you to imagine a similar kind of weight on your other child. Because that's what it is. It's no less difficult for them. They feel everything. Every single bit of emotion. And they'll know it's there. I know what you wonderful parents are very good at trying to hide it, but they'll know it's there. It's not all bad though. It's not all negative. I'm really proud to say that I'm a Duchenne sibling. I am, because I have a perspective on life that no one else gets to have. I might not be able to explain it, but I can see things and sense things and get an idea of things that no one else can get. And that is a very nice gift to have. Duchenne siblings are very hard working. They are very good contributors to society. They have good careers. Whatever their career is, whatever their job is, they will do it to the absolute pinnacle of their ability. They raise families well, they work hard, they support their family and friend circles well. Duchenne siblings are good people. They're good people to have in your life. I should know, I've spoken to some of them. I am. So it's a really, really good thing. Duchenne, for all the difficulties with Duchenne, and it is difficult, I have to stand here and talk to you today. And my brother died 9 years ago. But by doing this, you get to know who my brother was. you never would have met him otherwise. So I think that's quite a nice thing to do. Which is why when people say, why do you do it as a sibling, why are you okay talking about what it's like to be a Duchenne sibling? One, it's the only damn thing I'm qualified to talk about. Also, I get to talk about my brother. And I like doing that. And I'd much rather talk about him than talk about me because he's much more interested than I am. So what I'm trying to say is, I know it's hard. You guys do an amazing job every day, and I truly understand the weight that comes with that. And as a sibling, they will have that emotional weight on them. And you can't do anything about that in terms of, you can't just take it away. Much in the same way that I can't take yours away as much as I want to. So what we need to do is, you need to have a group like ours that allows us to start delicately sharing sibling stories. That's the thing, we'll do it on a very delicate basis. We'll continue to advocate sibling support. We need to ensure that whatever research is put into mental health support, sibling experience is given as much priority as the parents and the person with Duchenne themselves. Because that's the only way we're going to improve this. I didn't meet another person who knew what Duchenne was until I was like 30. So when I met Peter and Katie and Nikki, it completely changed my life. But it made me realise just how lonely I felt growing up with this experience that I couldn't share with anybody. But even as an adult, it's really hard to articulate it because everything I'm going to say to you sounds really trivial. I got jealous. I got upset, I got angry, he got more attention than me. But it's not. He got more attention than me because he had this condition that meant he needed more attention. There are small things you can do, I think, that can help. I heard about people that have support groups. So if you put together workshops, cafes, that kind of thing, for your younger children, that can be great. Because when I was younger, it wasn't so bad. It was when I was getting older, as I was becoming a teenager, and you start seeing some of the challenges that can come with Duchenne. That's when you start. That's when I kind of became more aware. I also became very aware of not just the challenges around the condition, but also how unequipped the world is for disabilities, which is why I said it's actually not always a bad thing being a Duchenne sibling, because you get to have a perspective on life that people don't always get straight away. So it's not always a bad thing. I hope we get to a point one day where siblings feel free and open and honest enough to share their experiences, to make it easy for other siblings to share theirs, and you can understand that you're not alone. That's the thing, and that was another reason why I was like, I have to write this down, and I have to say something, because the one thing I don't ever want is for anyone to feel alone. I didn't feel like I had anyone who I could share my thoughts with. I didn't feel like I had anyone who could truly understand it and truly get it, despite how sympathetic people were towards the situation. It's really hard to understand it, because it's a massive emotional weight that sits on you. But like I said, I'm really proud to say that I'm Darren's sister. So no one else gets to do that. And when you get to grow up alongside a condition like Duchenne, you immediately see how things can be improved. So siblings, at times, can be fantastic problem solvers because they've grown up in a situation that means everything requires thought, everything requires some form of consideration, and that also means that you have to find a solution to all of those problems. And if you get to grow up with that, as difficult as it is, it actually means that when you become an adult and you're faced with a crisis, you're really good at managing it. No good at doing the school run, by the way. I'm just really good in a crisis. I'm no good at the everyday problems. I'm good at the big major red alert one. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea of what it's like to be a sibling. And it's not easy. I'm not going to stand here and say that I can wave a magic wand and I can just tell you how to take all of the problems away. I can't. Because your problems can't be taken away. And it's a similar set of problems. It's just being the sibling instead of being the parent. So I'm sorry I can't give you all of the answers, but I can tell you that we set up the page with no major agenda. But the more I do stuff like this, the more you realise that you have to become more of an advocate. Because siblings won't ask for help. They're really good at not asking for help. A lot of people, I think, assume that because siblings don't ask for help, they don't want it. Now, some siblings won't want it. Some siblings are just going to manage it their own way and do their own thing. Do you know what? That's absolutely fine. As long as they're happy with that and they're comfortable and they're okay, then that's okay. But if they ever come to a point where they are struggling, it would be nice if there was something in place that could support them. And right now there isn't. And I know this because we have about 50 people in our Facebook group, and out of all the ones I've spoken to, and it's not just in the UK, it's in the US as well, and some people in Europe, every single one of them has received mental health support by going to a counsellor of some description, and it's not given the help they wanted. Which means they no longer ask for help, and they no longer go to anyone for support, and they just manage it entirely on their own, and yes, thank you very much, I'll carry on with my life, and struggle. And I don't want to see that, because I went through that, and I just got to a point where I just refused to do it, because I just thought it was silly. It was silly to carry on struggling. Didn't intend on doing this, though. So if someone could wave a magic wand and miraculously come up with some sort of solutions, so I never had to do this